You know, DE, if you really were having troubles with that chair to the point of delaying infested liches, you could have just contacted me. I happen to know a thing or two about chairs in Warframe actually. As is customary with my Warframe reviews, I will be spoiling the Hex quest, but not the Hex finale, as I didn't meet the requirements to access it as of writing this. Make sure to skip to this timestamp to avoid the story spoilers. Hot damn, this quest was a lot better than I was expecting. This kind of feels like Whispers in the Walls, but with a lot more lore in between the missions, like fully fleshed cutscenes and shit. There's enough time to explore the members of the Hex, flesh out Dr. Entrati more, and have some fun set pieces. The best part is that all of this is evenly balanced. This is just a really fun quest, more so than Whispers. Plus, I really like that a lot of the quest's ending is really just calling back to previous events. It reminds us that this shit still kind of matters in the grand scheme of things. Like the Drifter using the same Duviri magic that trapped that place in an eternal spiral. The only difference is that the Drifter is using it for good here, a stark contrast to how Walla uses its powers. But where the quest really succeeds is in the Hex itself. Each character has enough screen time and development to make you love them, and this was really the most important part of the quest, since the Gemini skins are a thing and they killed all of them in the ending. Their deaths wouldn't matter as much, and you wouldn't have much incentive to buy the skins if you didn't like them in the quest, but still, I love the way they handled the Hex. The biggest criticism I've seen though is that the quest both ends and begins abruptly. This is a sentiment I both agree with and disagree with. Let me explain. As for the intro, sure, it does kind of start abruptly because we just get thrown into the world of 1999 and it shows off the nuke immediately. But still, I like the opening, as I feel there's really no better way to ease us into such a unique world as this. But also, this is a quest that a lot of people seem to have forgotten, and for good reason: the Lotus Eaters. This was supposed to be the prologue to 1999, at least explaining how we, the Drifter, get there. Emphasis on supposed to. I rewatched a playthrough of the Lotus Eaters after completing the Hex, and sure, it shows us how we even got into contact with that world in the first place, but it doesn't explain why we got vomited out of the helmet as an Excalibur, other than to have the admittedly raw as hell Arthur v Excalibur moment. It also doesn't explain why the Drifter tried to use transference on Arthur, like why the fuck would he think that would work? But part of the problem is also that the Lotus Eaters was released so far away from 1999. What they could have done is swap the release order of Komei and the Five Fates and the Lotus Eaters. So release Komei in September and Lotus in November. That way the literal prelude quest for 1999 was still in our minds before the update dropped. And before you say anything, the quality of life updates we got with Komei alone would have been more than sufficient to last us 3 months. As for the ending of the quest, it does kind of end abruptly. I know it's not the literal ending to the 1999 storyline because the Hex finale is a thing, and I'm assuming we're rewriting the ending in that quest. But the Hex just ends after the Duviri spiral shows up. It would have been nice to see everyone return to Hulvania and the Drifter have some sort of reaction to the time loop starting. Just something other than the immediate quest complete screen. But there is one major gripe that I have with the quest that is inexcusable, and that's Quincy's death.
See you soon, Mama.
His death was literally the most avoidable one out of all of them. He sees the tank on his scope, and instead of spending the 8 seconds between here and there, you know, running, the dumbass just sits there and takes it. You know what, I take it back. This quest is a 0 out of 10. As of writing this, the update's been out for about 4 days and I still can't stop coming back to it. There's just so much to do and explore, and I've been having a blast with it all. Hellscrub is a pretty cool take on survival. I like how there are different versions that focus on a specific faction, especially since 1999 has 2 new ones. Also, it has something unique, that being when the Hellscrubbers get fully infected, they become a new enemy you can fight. It really helps to keep things interesting while you're just mindlessly killing enemies. Exterminate is just exterminate, but it's cool how there's an extra side objective, that being the Fervon supply caches. It again helps to keep things interesting. Legacy Harvest is also kind of cool. It makes an endless mission out of the one mission type that was always thought to be the hardest one to make into an endless one, and instead of the capture targets just being one-hit kills like they normally are, they're an actual mini-boss, so again, pretty cool game mode. Face-Off can also actually be really fun. DE realized how unbalanced the Conclave is, so instead of having Face-Off be actual PvP, it's just a simple race to the finish with the chance to throw debuffs at the enemy. I was also really worried about people optimizing the shit out of the mode with everyone running an energized munitions Gauss build, but I haven't really seen much of that because there's no real incentive to be first place, apart from the extra Phosphor and 1500 Conclave standing. But the biggest problem is that this is another game mode where players have to kill enemies inside of a red circle on the minimap. Did they not learn from Netrocells that randoms in public lobbies don't like listening to the rules of a mission? And the new assassination mission, the Ephirvon tank, is on par with the fragmented one for being the best in the game. In a game where all the bosses are monstrous hellspawn or high-tech killing machines, this one is literally just a tank. It's simple with no overly complicated steps, and it's not too difficult, it's just a really good time. Honestly, my biggest problem with playing the new game modes is the tech rot saves, those discount Melica caches. Their audio cues are so quiet that I have to mute the music volume just to find them. If they were made just a little bit louder, it would be much easier to narrow down their locations. Moving on from 1999 itself, Site 09 is an awesome Warframe. It's just so damn fun to target one weak point, shoot it, and everyone else around me dies. And of all the recent high DPS room clearing nuke frames, Site 09 definitely has the most varied playstyle. And before anyone asks, here's the build I stole it from Tactical Potato. Lastly, I can't comment on Nyx's rework as I was never a fan of her before it, and I didn't play with her much now, but from what I've heard, it's a really good rework. Trinity, on the other hand, I was a very big Trinity main around 2019, but I lost interest in her because her kit was outdated. But now that her kit has been brought up to modern day standards, she's so fun to play. It does kind of suck how she's still kind of reliant on her 3 augments to be a worthwhile frame, but I consider that a worthy trade-off. Now I might go back to being an actual Trinity main again.
Angel, you take this motherfucker off right now! Take it off!
I don't think
Take
I will.
it off! Take it
I don't
off!
think I will.
Take it off!
No, I don't think I will.
Take it off!
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 Warframe 1999 managed to surpass my expectations. It has an amazing main quest, a new Warframe that cleans house alongside 2 great reworks of older frames, incredibly fun new game modes, and a unique but still entertaining romance system. Even without the infested liches, this update was still a home run, and helped solidify 2024 as the single best year for Warframe.